The Summit Ascent is a solid summit with a twist, and it releases on August 23rd. Tobias will be in this one, and we'll take a more user-friendly approach. No big words or sales pitches. We're just going to help you figure out whether the Ascent should be on your list or not. Back with the monologue, but if I don't say it, you don't hear it. We are, of course, at Royal Crest Lanes in Lawrence, Kansas, bowling on the Kegel Chromium Challenge pattern. The lane graph is linked in the description if you want to take a look at the details. Make sure to also check the description for instructional videos, links, and discount codes. There's some actually good stuff down there. It's not just sucker traps. The Summit Ascent features the same Centripetal HD with AI core as the original and the Peak, very low 246 RG, and a very high 056 differential. That's about as strong as you're going to get a symmetric core. Very early and strong rolling, very high flare, big strong engine. The cover is where the twist is. Rather than the same strong TX23 cover formula that was on the Summit and the Summit Peak, which is an evolution of the cover from the Phase 2, the Ascent gets Old Faithful, R2S Solid, which is one of the best covers in history, still currently on the IQ Tour Solid, a very near cousin on the Absolute Power with R2S Deep. Now on paper, this should be a smoother power. It's a step down from the original Summit, or in similar territory as Rotogrip's original TNT. Little different format here, or at least some more focused angles. The Summit Ascent fits as a strong rolling but medium traction ball that will be best for the fresh on most regular house shots and on medium length, medium volume sport and challenge patterns. It shapes quite a bit like the Summit Peak and the TNT, slightly tumbly, forward to directional reaction on the back end. Tobias tracks very high and doesn't really get around the ball, but doesn't really come up the back of it either, so his shot shape very clearly illustrates the reaction shape of the Ascent. He mentioned that it wasn't quite strong enough for the fresh on this pattern, which again is medium volume and on the long side of medium length. The Ascent's medium to lower strength cover at 4000 grit, which is how it comes out of the box and where he left it, is just a little too clean, which means it doesn't grip enough in the oil, so it starts moving or hooking later than he wants it to, so it's a little late finishing on the back end. With it also straightening out somewhat on the back end, that's giving him a little trouble getting it to pick up and go. This one definitely doesn't seem to like to cover boards. Again, cleaner cover, more forward or straighter path on the back end. This one is built for control and predictability for the majority of people on the majority of regular conditions. It's basically just a stronger IQ Tour Solid. This one's going to be a lot of control for higher rev rates and a strong but controllable roll for straighter players that will let them play where they're comfortable. Tobias gave up on trying to get it to cover boards and finally found the sweet spot right around third arrow. It let him comfortably execute and really controlled the pocket. This is a solid 3-ball. It's a step down from the super strong and even cleaner asymmetric balls, and is also a step down from stronger symmetrics like the Optimum Idol, Phase 2, and Summit. However, it's still stronger than the Exponent and Hyped lines. It's in Venom Shock territory on actual reaction. I realize the Shock has a quite a bit lower differential, but I'm talking about actual strength and overall ball reaction. And the Arctic Vibe would be a B7 comparison, and yes, once again, I do realize the core numbers on paper are slightly different, but bowling isn't done on paper. Comparing it to the Absolute Power, they have similar covers, but the power is asymmetric, so while they have similar traction, the asymmetry gives the power torque to make it more dynamic on the back end. The power might be a better choice for lower rev rates that want a medium strength ball, but still need more punch down lane. The Ascent might be a little more controllable option for higher rev rates. Comparing it to the Summit Peak, this once again reinforces that cover formula is significantly more important than cover type. The Summit Peak, despite being a shiny pearl, is still decidedly stronger than the Ascent. Now remember, just being able to cover more boards doesn't always mean a ball is stronger, but in this case I think it's pretty apparent that the Ascent isn't more comfortable from further right because it's earlier and smoother. It's comfortable from further right because it's too clean and weak to get much deeper. The Peak is both stronger and more responsive than the Ascent, and again, despite being a pearl, the stronger cover formula makes it a ball up from the Ascent, not down. The different types do still sometimes factor in, but cover formula is much more important than whether a ball is a pearl, hybrid, or a solid. Once again, the Summit Ascent releases on August 23rd with the Optimum Idol Pearl. Don't forget to check out the description for all the codes and links. There's some really good and helpful stuff down there. And make sure Rosedoll10 gets entered at checkout at CoolWick to knock 10% off. This video was brought to you by Panda Bear Productions. We put the in bowling. Thanks for watching, and may the strikes be with you.
That's terrible. That's even worse. Whoops. There's a pinfall that fell down on that one. It's good. I think it'd be something like when the Ion Pro gets too much, you could go down to this one and there'd be a little more control. Hook, 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 hook. I got the right part of the lane. I mean, I wouldn't be throwing that on this, on the fresh from over there anyways, but gotta try to make it work. Oh. All right. I'm gonna have to give up on that zone.